India was a closed economy until 1990, which simply means foreign companies weren't allowed to enter in India. In 1991, India went through economic liberalization, which implies that the government had removed the barriers to international trade that were present. Until 1980s, Kellogg's was present in 18 countries with annual sales of more than $6 billion. They had 40% share in the US alone. Kellogg's was keen to enter other emerging markets beside their traditional markets like the US and Europe, which was already saturated with little to no scope of further rise of their market share. When Indian government opened up India for the foreign firms, many MNCs flocked into India, and one of them was Kellogg's. Kellogg's chose India for two main reasons. First, India is a big country with massive population, which means potential customers to their new offerings. Second, a mere market share of 2% would meant their revenue crosses as that of the US alone. Indians like their breakfast to be hot and fresh and sometimes as heavy as a meal. Consuming ready-to-eat meals wasn't a cultural norm. With so much diversity, breakfast and food varied from city to city and state to state. Certain things gave Kellogg's hope to be successful in India. First was convenience. With rapid urbanization and changing lifestyle, the demand for convenience was larger than ever before. Hence, consumers were now more open to the consumption of ready-to-eat meals. Secondly, income. People now had a higher capacity to spend money on things they liked. Thirdly, raising health standards. Indians were now more afraid of ailments like heart disease and diabetes. They wanted food options that would keep them safe from such health-related problems. Kellogg's invested more than $60 million towards launching their premier brand, Corn Flakes, in India.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
They started working on right kind of advertisements to attract Indian consumers to leave their traditional breakfasts and grab corn flakes. Lol, this is where they fucked up. Kellogg's made a statement that they would change the way Indians breakfast, but little they knew what was in store for them. Kellogg's projected them as a healthy alternative to not so healthy Indian habits. The Indians didn't feel the same way. Questioning decades-old food habits didn't go well with the people. Kellogg's breakfast was meant to be served with cold milk, the two with no sugar, unlike how Indians like their breakfast to be hot and savory, which company clearly ignored. Pricing of Kellogg's cereals also didn't well with Indian people, as Kellogg's products were priced 30% more than their nearest rival company. Kellogg's also advertised their cereals as crispy flakes. But when the Indian consumers used those flakes with hot milk, they liked it hot. As I said above, they became soggy. This further created problems for the Kellogg's brand. After declining market sales, Kellogg's realized that their breakfast option was diametrically opposite to what generations of Indians had been eating. The typical Indian breakfast was hot, homemade, heavy as a meal. What Kellogg's offered, best served with cold milk. Ready to eat, bland, unless you added a sugar or other sweetener. In early 1996, defending the company's products, Managing Director Dennis Avronsart said, "True, some people will not like the way it tastes in hot milk. And not all consumers will want to have it with cold milk. But over a period of time, we expect consumer habits to change." Kellogg is a past master at the art, having fought, and won, against croissant and coffee in France, biscuits in Italy and noodles in Korea. They were trying to change habits that were deeply ingrained into Indian customers. And because they had succeeded in the European and Korean markets, they believed they would succeed here too. Kellogg's had two options: reposition or leave. With massive failure in impressing Indian consumers, Kellogg's decided to pivot. Company ditched their breakfast business and positioned the cereals as evening snack items. Their market research found that the kids in Indian households would often have a snack time during the evening, between lunch and dinner. And this is where they could chip in. Their products could be a nutritious substitute for chips and other junk food. With this new targeting strategy, they launched Chocos in September 1996 and Frosties in April 1997. Chocos were wheat scoops coated with chocolate, while Frosties had sugar frosting. These additions addressed the shortcomings of plain cereals. They were sweetened. Kellogg's now marketed with a razor-sharp focus. They stated that the majority of Indian children have iron deficiency and that Kellogg's products are rich in iron. This increased their sales by 17%. Instead of rendering the entire Indian meal as unhealthy, they simply stated that cornflakes would help fulfill the share of iron nutrients in the children. Company also changed their mascot for Indian market. Kellogg's removed the rooster from their packages in India. They noticed that the majority of Indian customers were vegetarian and were uncomfortable in purchasing packages having a rooster as the main mascot. Quite recently in 2020, amidst coronavirus pandemic which has hit the whole world and businesses, Kellogg's launched the good old Indian breakfast Upma as one of their pre-packaged and ready-to-eat product called Kellogg's Nutty Rava Upma. This also became a butt of a joke on Indian Twitter. No foreign company was able to survive in India without having to be Indianized. Many MNCs had to change or adapt as per Indian market. For example, McDonald's had to remove beef burgers due to religious importance of cows in India. Currently Kellogg's market share in packaged briefcast category stands at 56%, a huge gain to what it was in 90s.
Damn!
It certainly is good to fail once to learn for a lifetime. So next time if you want to launch your business in India, do your research well, else be ready to go down the well. It is a big country with a variety of tastes and habits. Good luck. If you like this video, please do like, share, comment and subscribe.